Hey guys, what's going on? It's me, Paterson, and welcome back to a new video. Today I'm going to be showing you exactly how I designed or redesigned ScrawlrBox. ScrawlrBox is a subscription service filled with art supplies. So every week you get a new piece of art supply in the box, and I had the opportunity, which was really fun, to work with ScrawlrBox to redesign their logo type, which was so much fun. But not only that, I got the chance to design them a font that they continually use on their Instagram and on their website. You can check the website down in the description below. So I thought you guys would find it really interesting to see how you can actually design a logo type with many different variations, and also design a typeface to go along with that to professionally encompass the brand. Before we get into the video, I just want to thank the sponsor, Skillshare. Skillshare is an online learning community filled with thousands of classes taught by professionals in their industry, all the way from graphic design to cooking, photography, anything you can really think of. And if you want to, down below in the link in the description is a link for you to go and check out a logo design class, and you get 2 months completely free if you click that link down below. If you'd like to learn logo design, there are some great classes for you to choose from down there. I'll link them below, so go ahead and watch them. So the first step in logo design creation is generally sketching, researching, and mood boarding. I always say that, I'm going to be researching this company and their competitors, to which there wasn't really any competitors because this subscription service was pretty new to the art community. ScrawlrBox already had a logo, but I didn't want to go too far away from the concept of that. It needed to stick out, not be too feminine, if you were to call it a word, but to also look like it was drawn and handwritten. So the perfect job for me. I started drawing on the iPad like I normally do, and I've actually got the time lapse here that you can see of me coming up with sketches. Now, the way that I came up with these sketches were through creating brushes inside of Procreate that I could use, and then I can use that later to vectorize inside of Illustrator. So I drew about 10 to 20 different ideas for ScrawlrBox, and yes, I was spelling them wrong throughout the process, but that's just part of the fun. I wanted the logo to feel scrawled out so it looked professional, but also that it had that handmade feel. So I used these different brushes, and I finally came to a couple of different ideas. Now, what I normally do here is I take these ideas and I fully vectorize them to give them the look that they're supposed to have as a logo. This is my first logo idea. So this one here was like sketched in. I refined it in the iPad so it had a similar weight to it, but there were some problems. It looked a bit too bubbly and it didn't fit within the old logo type. And I know when we say we're redesigning something that we're changing the look of it, but I wanted to really keep the vibe of the old logo. So this one here, as you can see, I drew it in, and then I basically went ahead and drew with a pen tool after that. Now, when you're doing logo type design, it's super important to have everything consistent. So what I would do is just make sure that all the spacing was correct, but then not only that, that the spacing in between the letters and the thickness of the letters were correct as well. As you can see here on this, I was copying and pasting this out quite a lot. The reason why is I need to test this idea out. Did it work when it was small? Does it work when it's big? Does it work when it's backwards? A little pro tip for anyone is that when the logo is flipped, so reflected on itself, your eyes sort of look at them as a shape, not as a word. So when you're reading it, you can't really read it, you're just looking at shapes, and that will help you identify issues with the design. So here you can see that I was identifying some issues. If we carry on going over here, the R was a major issue. They did not like the scrawler R that I created. So I moved from this idea to creating this R here. But again, this idea didn't really gel, and that was because I created a different sort of idea. So what I decided to do was go back to sort of the sketching drawing board, and I found a brush that I created earlier which had a marker feel, and this marker feel was what I was trying to get across with the vibe of the design. And the reason for that is because the icon of ScrawlrBox was done with a marker, so I tried to keep the same feel of that to tie it in with the family. So something that I did was put the icon in front, so I would draw the logo by hand using this brush next to it to see if it would fit with the vibe. This is one of the more difficult things that I did, but it turned out the more that I practiced doing this with the pen, the better I got at identifying shapes that I really liked. So once I had that idea, I brought it into Illustrator to see what I could do with it. So here it is. I've sketched it out and I've gone ahead and made it vectorized. Now the thing that I liked about this was the chunkiness of the design. So the chunkier the design, generally the bolder it is, the easier it is to see when it's smaller. And because ScrawlrBox generally does a lot of its marketing online and you see it on a box, I wanted to give it a bold feeling. So what I did was I kept with the idea and I drew it out like so, and I very roughly went ahead with the pen tool. As you can see, the pen tool is kept horizontal and vertical most of the time, and some of the points are pointy and some of the end points are round, and that is to give the illusion of a marker, which is what I was trying to get across. Now when I copied and pasted it and brought it over here, the only issue that I found was that the C was connecting, and when I was speaking to Chris, who owns ScrawlrBox, he did not like the idea of this. He didn't like the connection because nothing else was really connecting, so we had to go back to the drawing board with the C. But this is all part of the process of refining. So what I did is I went ahead and drew it out again into a shape that I liked, including the connection, but then I went ahead and sketched around it with a pencil to get rid of some of the blemishes that I didn't like. I then brought it into Illustrator again and I started rolling around this idea. Now beforehand what I had was this sort of connector on the C when it was coming down, and we didn't like that because it kind of, when you made it small, it didn't make sense. It kind of looked like a weird shape. It did not look like a C. So we ended up going for one that did not have that sort of C look there. But again, the problem was with this design is that connector of the C did not work very well. So I carried on, and as you can see here, I've got one idea here, my first idea, and this other idea. And I did not know what the problem was until we actually got rid of the connector of the C. I fixed the connection or the top anchor of the C here, created the S and all the thick letters here, and I sort of jumbled them together, created different sizes, different heights so they would fit together, but they wouldn't look perfect as a logo. If we keep going around this artboard, which is what I used to mainly create the design in, I go ahead over here and you can see that with this actual logo on the left, I'm matching it up with this actual logo type that I've created on the right. Now there are some issues here, and I point out my issues in logos through using circles like so. These circles allow me to really see the issues with the design and point them out to myself for later. So the problems with these were that, you know, this wasn't like flat straight at the top because it was like sort of two letters pushed together. We didn't like the end point, so we wanted to actually probably make them a bit rounder, and also the R felt a bit off because of the leg of the R coming out too much. So I spent more time on this, and then I just got rid of the connector. The connection on the C didn't work. So as soon as I got rid of the connection on the C, everything started to look a lot nicer. And as you can see through this process, I'm literally going through and refining, copying it, refining, copying it. And once we get down to here, you can see this is the full sort of logo actually in it, all its glory around here. You can see that it looks a lot nicer and a lot more filled out. The box at the end is actually the font that I created, which I'll talk about in another video, because I created a full-fledged typeface with this. The idea of this logo was to give the feeling of someone drawing it, so that human hand-drawn feeling, so that people when they saw it would understand it a bit more about what's in the contents of the box. I wanted to keep it within a marker, so the actual letters look like they've been drawn with a marker, which helps with the icon. It brings it together as a family. And then to distinguish ScrawlrBox, or the box side of ScrawlrBox, I created a typeface, and this is to be used everywhere else on the website for different publications or for like Instagram giveaways. ScrawlrBox use it as part of their brand, and the reason being is that we wanted to show that there is a difference between just Scrawlr and ScrawlrBox. So I hope this video has helped you understand a bit more about the logo type design experience and how you can actually create a decent logo type through the uses of copying, pasting, and ultra refinement. If you did enjoy it, please press that red subscribe button down below. It is completely free. And if you also want something else for free, click the link in the description to go ahead and check out Skillshare and learn exactly how you can do this. I've linked some classes down below for you to check out. And thank you, Skillshare, for sponsoring once again. Thanks for watching, guys. I'll see you in the next video. Bye.